There are many inventions invented by different people that have somehow impacted the way people do things, and most of these inventions are still used today. This inventor is named Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison was born on February 11, 1847 in Milan, Ohio. Thomas became an inventor at age 22. He was the creator of many inventions like the universal stock printer, a phonograph, and the invention he is most known for, the light bulb. He was granted the title for the light bulb in January 1880. Edison became one of the most famous men in the world by the time he was 30 years old. Thomas Edison died of diabetes on October 18, 1931 at the age of 84. Even though he is gone, his memory lives on through his inventions. If you look around today, there are light bulbs everywhere. We use light bulbs in our homes, buildings, and schools. Light bulbs are an essential tool in the modern life we live today. This is Alexander Graham Bell. Alexander Graham Bell was born on March 3, 1847. He was an American scientist and inventor. Alexander was well known for his pioneering work in the development of the telephone. Bell taught deaf-mute children and founded a school in Boston and trained teachers of the deaf. Bell had been intrigued by the idea of transmitting speech. In 1875, he invented a simple receiver that could turn electricity into sound. There were other inventors doing the same thing. Despite the controversy, Bell was granted the title for the telephone on March of 1876. The invention of the telephone made Alexander a very wealthy man. Alexander Graham Bell died August 2, 1922. He is another man that is remembered through his inventions. The telephone is used by many to communicate with people from across the state, nation, or even the world. The telephone changed the way humans communicate forever. The modern-day society is familiar with Steve Jobs. Apple Computer was founded by Steve Jobs on April 1, 1976. Steve Jobs withdrew from Reed College in 1975 and pursued his business of Apple Computer. Apple Computer began primarily as a manufacturer of personal computers. The Apple I, the very first Apple computer, lacked many features that modern computers have, such as a keyboard and a monitor. The company experienced low market shares and sales during the 1990s, but with the introduction of the iPod in 2001 and iTunes Music Store in 2003, Apple became a leader in the industry of consumer electronics and media sales. In 2012, Apple was acknowledged as the largest publicly traded corporation in the world with an estimated value of $626 billion. Apple's annual revenue in 2012 was $156 billion. The company is obviously doing very well. Today, Apple sells all the types of products. The company's core products are the iPhone, iPad, iPod, and Macintosh computer line. You may be familiar with the name Henry Ford. Henry Ford was born on July 30th of 1863. He is well known for Ford Motor Company, but he is acknowledged for his contribution to the assembly line process. An assembly line is a manufacturing process that makes assembly of interchangeable parts a quick process. Ford perfected the assembly line by installing conveyor belts. By adding these conveyor belts, workers could produce a Model T, which is one of the first Ford cars, in 93 minutes. Ford began to use the conveyor belts on December 1, 1913. The installation of conveyor belts and assembly lines allows Ford Company to produce thousands of cars annually. This invention has become so successful that other companies have adopted his ideas and use conveyor belts in their assembly lines to this day. Are you familiar with Eli Whitney? He was born on December 8, 1765 in Westbrook, Massachusetts. He grew up on a farm with his mother and father and 3 siblings. At a young age, he was already building and reconstructing items, but sadly at age 12, his mother passed away. That didn't stop him. As he grew, he advanced his education and became a teacher to save money so that he could go to college at Yale University. After graduating, he moved to Georgia and was given the idea from widow Mrs. General Nathaniel Greene to invent a machine for cleaning cotton. Thus, in 1793, he created the cotton gin, which cleaned as fast as 50 men. Eli Whitney died at age 59 in 1825. Cotton comes from a seed that contains the lint inside, and the cotton gin separates the lint from the seed so that the cotton can be used to make thread, which will be used to make clothes, blankets, and other items. The machine is a wooden roller that has rows of small spines that passes through a metal grid and grabs the cotton and pulls it through the grid where the seeds fall because they can't fit. The cotton is now seed-free and ready to thread. Over time, other people began trying to create imitations of the cotton gin. So in 1798, Eli Whitney stopped building and producing his version of the cotton gin. Because cotton grows so effortlessly and is now so easy to clean, it has become the #1 cash crop in the South to this day. Lastly, the Wright brothers. Wilbur Wright was born in 1867 in Indiana, and Orville Wright was born in 1871 in Ohio. They were raised by their mom and dad and had 5 other siblings. At a young age, their will to invent was influenced by their father, who bought them a toy helicopter. It was a toy that was airlifted by a blade and spun up by a wounded rubber band. The 2 brothers played with the toy so much that it broke, so they built their own, which later on in life sparked the creation of the airplane and first controlled human flight. In 1903, they had their first successful flight after multiple trials and errors from inventing bikes, gliders, and other inventions that would become airborne but couldn't stay in the air or carry a human. The airplane is still used today, thousands of times a day, and keeps becoming an even better and safer invention. Without the Wright brothers, transportation would not be what it is today. We thank you for watching and hope these inventors inspire you to be a creative inventor of your own.